company dismissed. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
I just realised we had the wrong intro up. It's not the Sky Blue History podcast. Never mind. That's a great start to the show. Anyway, welcome to Sky Blue Fans TV. It's not the Sky Blue History podcast. That's Claudio's fault. He's messing with all the buttons. What's going on, Claudio? Anyway, what a great start that is. Okay, we got a packed show for you tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit about the team selection coming up for this weekend with Stoke appearing at the CBS and the return of that man. But we're not going to talk about that man until the Stoke fan comes on. We've got Liam coming on. Liam Birks, he will be talking to us a little bit later on about how Stoke are doing under you-know-who. Will Rodoni be fit this weekend? I wonder if he will be. Let's just wait and see. We might have some information for you. What are your thoughts on Mark Robins returning? We're going to talk about the 8 years that he joined us 8 years ago today. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. We've got Spot the Ball. 2 games have been moved, Burnley and Portsmouth. We'll talk about that. And our Sisu about to take over another football club. But let's get the show on the go. Let's start off. Let's get the man who's messed around with all the buttons, Claudio. What did you do to me there?
Yeah, good evening. I've changed the outro back. I just did it while you were talking.
I should think so. Blind.
They got me in a panic. I thought, I haven't done any research. What's going on?
Never mind. Let's get Vicky in. Good evening, Vicky.
Good evening. Good evening.
Excellent. And we got CJ. Good evening, CJ. Now, we might have to pop off about between 8 and 9 because he's got his Sainsbury's shopping turning up. So if he zooms off, we know where he's gone to get his cabbage.
That's right, Jim.
No worries. Right then. We've got loads of comments. We've had comments coming in today all over social media and everything. Absolutely brilliant. But before we start, right, I know we're going to talk a little bit about the game coming up this Saturday. But as you know, it is competition time. We have Spot the Ball. Yes, you can win a prize. Now, we do give away prizes. Here is Mick Davenport with his prize. He got a mug and a coaster. And also, here's Harley, Wayne Littlewood's lad. He's just come out of hospital. Bless him. So we sent him a little mug. So they're some of the winners. You see, we do give these away. And if you want to buy a mug and coaster and you don't want to win one, then please head over to skybluefanstv@gmail.com and you can purchase a mug and coaster for $15.95. So if you want one, head over to the email and you can order one from us and it will help towards keeping the channel going, which is brilliant. Right, let's get Spot the Ball up then. Here we go. Oxford last weekend, what a game that was. Oh, it's thrilling. I was so excited when I was DJing as well. Oh, it was brilliant. So let's get your guesses in. Let's go CJ first. Go on, CJ, give us a guess.
10.
Number 10 for CJ. Okay. Claudio?
It can't be 12. I'm going to go for 12 for laughs.
12. 12. Okay, and Vicky?
I'm going to say number 2.
Number 2. Okay, so get your guesses in. You can win a prize tonight, and we'll crack on with that a little bit later on. Right then, let's talk a little bit about Saturday then coming up. You wouldn't have thought this was going to be a big game, but I feel this is a very pivotal game in Coventry City's season. 8 wins out of 9. Claudia, will come to you. I think this is really a game where we've got to go on and win this.
Most definitely. And we're playing a team who have got no form whatsoever, apart from bad form, basically. And, we're in the ascendancy at the minute, aren't we? So we have to be really positive. And I don't care if it takes all game to do it. Just don't lose this match. Just get we're getting gritty little results at the minute, a bit like Saturday, really. And I'm not bothered how we do it now. We just got to keep winning matches. We can't afford to lose, and we can't afford to draw too many either. That's the thing now. We have to get on. I'd love this to be, by the time we play, is it Sunderland before, or is it Sheffield United, whoever it is, I just want to be 2 wins the next 2 games and a bit of a buffer between us and who's ever in 7th place. That's what we need. And I think we've got the players to do it regardless of injuries and all that, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, CJ, Bristol City sneaked into seventh on Tuesday night with a win. How do you think we're going to set up for this about the squad? Do you think we're going to keep the same formation, one up front, or do you think being at home this week with maybe no Rodoni, that we might go a two up front?
I think we've got to go with the one up front. Mason Clark is in such good form, isn't he? He's playing so well. Sakamoto's playing so well. So forget about the striker. The only two places those two can really play are on the wings. So you're going to struggle to fit them in unless you play with one central striker and them flanking him. So I think we've got to stick with it.
And would you stick with Sims?
Yeah, I don't think. To be honest with you, I just don't think there's another option at the moment. I don't think we've got another option to play there really. So he plays. Yeah,
and come to you, Vic. I know you're writing numbers down frantically there. I mean, this weekend, like CJ's just said, stick to one up front. Do you reckon?
I suppose the other option is: do you play White and Sims together and then put EMC and Sakamoto like a bit further on the wings, and rather than flanking a striker, sort of just go proper like old school wide man. But then
4-4-2.
Yeah, but then is White enough to play 90 minutes? I don't know. But I think that's another potential option.
I mean, for me, Saturday, it was welcome back for Haji, but his first move was he was offside again, which was like, oh, welcome back, Haji. We know you're back. But I mean, it is a conundrum for Lampard, isn't it, Vic, with what's happened to Rodoni now. We have heard that he may be out now until after the international break. So he's going to miss the next 3 games, which for me are 2 of them are definitely winnable. One of them would probably take 7 points out of these next 3 games to run into this international break. But I mean, this is a crucial time that we're losing him, aren't we?
Yeah, it's just a really unfortunately timed injury, isn't it, for such a key player? Because we've momentum. We were really excited about how things were going. We were excited because players were coming back. And so, like EMP's obviously been a few weeks now. Had you right? So you're thinking, full squad to just finish off the season. And then with clearly one of the players. It could have been worse if we missed 3 games. We're probably lucky because it could have been a season injury, even surgery, couldn't it? So it's just unfortunate because we've spoken lots of ways. He's well up there for player of the season, so it'll be a big miss and it's hard to try and get someone to do the job that he does, really.
Yeah, I mean, Claudio, like Vicky's just touched on there, Rodoni is a real key player to the squad now. He's really took on board what Frank and the team want from him and the players around him. I think for me, the key for that we're going to miss him, I think for me, is his quality of crossing, his corners. He's just been a different class, hasn't he? And 2 headers in 2 games.
Well, it appears he's taken on board what Frank Lampard was talking about in that interview. He's doing the Frank Lampard midfield play, isn't he? Where he's getting into the box, he causes trouble, he can deliver. I mean, the only no good thing about the injury at all, but it's the fact it is Stoke and it is Derby. I think we can afford to lose him against those 2 teams, and even the 3rd match, to be honest, if he's right after the international break. Hopefully, Torp will be back in the picture soon as well. So I'm not a ready-made replacement, is he? But he's close to it. But he's been our player of the season by a country mile. I think he's improved week on week, game on game. I think, and like I say, those deliveries from corners, especially now we've got the new corner routine where we're doing the all stood in front of the goalkeeper. Yeah, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, for me, CJ, I think that is going to be a massive loss, isn't it, to our team? The way he can deliver a ball.
It is, yeah, and I mean we have got Grimes that can put a decent ball in, so I mean that potentially that negates it a little bit, but I still think you want both of them patrolling that edge of the box and kind of putting the balls in. But you look, his heading ability is good, decent as well, isn't it? He can make runs. He can pretty much lose a defender before they'd even known he's there. So yeah, I mean he's got it's more than just what he can do, kind of putting the ball into the box. Even what he can do when he's in there. For me.
Yeah, and I mean, a big shout out to Bobby Thomas because he's been nominated for Player of the Month, Vic. I mean, he's really improved, hasn't he, under Frank and the team?
Yeah, hasn't he? I mean, he's gradually getting better. I think he's another young player that's come in who was developing on an upward trajectory. I think sometimes we sort of players that come in and they maybe not hit the ground running and we sort of written them off prematurely. Because I think he always showed he had something about him, and he seems to have just beefed up a little bit, and just little things that are just little improvements, and so yeah, that's a nice recognition of that, really, isn't it, for him to just be nominated? Is nice.
Yeah, it shows what effort and work ethic that he's put into getting his game back on track, and you're seeing it in. I'm probably going to put the voodoos on it, but you've started to see him starting to pass the ball a little bit better now as well than he did at the beginning of the season. So, as we said, they're all human, and players go through these spells. Like Sims, as I still say, it was down to his wife having a new baby. I reckon he's getting sleepless nights and stuff. And CJ knows about sleepless nights lately because your little lad's a bit older now, isn't he? How old is he now, CJ?
He's 3, and he was looking out the window last night at I think it was 11:30, and I think it must have been a full moon, and he was saying, "Oh, look, it's daytime," and then he thought it was daytime till about 6 o'clock this morning. So yeah,
there you go. So that's what Elliot
we know all about that. Why sun nights as well? So.
Me. Now let's have a look at this, right? Because as well put this up the other day. We are 35 games in, and we're 1 point better off than we were this time the season we got to the playoff final. Now the key for me here is it's the win ratio to that season. If you look at that at the top of the board there, I think we only got 4 wins out of that 35, and this time we've got 8 out of the 9. So it is a fantastic run that we are on, and the momentum, it's a dangerous word, as Frank keeps saying every Friday in his press conference or after the game. He says momentum's a dangerous word. But Claudio, I mean, you've got to be thinking this is looking very, very rosy, isn't it?
I think I'll be more disappointed now this season than the other 2 seasons. I know we got to the playoffs 2 years ago, but we're in a good position here. And, we're stacking up the wins. There was a lot of draws, wasn't there, in that playoff year? Because, I mean, if we win 3 more games, if we win the next 3 matches, we've already equalled that season in terms of wins, haven't we? With 8 matches left, that'll be, won't it? So we've got to keep this momentum going. They've got to have the belief, and it's all down to us now. We're in the driving seat for a change. It's up to us, isn't it? And I know we've got the teams above us, Burnley, Sheffield United, Sunderland. Sunderland's not an issue for me. Well, I think we can beat them any time we play them. The other 2, I wouldn't say write them off because you shouldn't, but it's the fact we're playing a load of teams down the bottom end of the table who are scrapping for points, but we are better than those teams. That's why we're 5th. It's as simple as that. But we are better than them.
But isn't it dangerous though, Vic, playing these teams below us who are fighting to stay up and to get to that magic 50 points? I don't think they're going to need 50 points this year. I think your mate Claudio the other week, the Oxford fan last week, said that he don't think they're going to need 50 points. He thinks they're going to need 47 or 48 points. I mean, this is it can be dangerous, can't it, playing these teams?
Well, yeah, because they're fighting for their lives, aren't they? And so there'll be no easy games between now and the end of the season because virtually every team we're playing have got something to play for, whether that's to cement their ambitions of a playoff spot or whether to try and keep themselves in the championship. And it's dangerous, isn't it? And you can't be underestimating the teams at the bottom, thinking, well, they're not doing very well, they're down the bottom, because they'll be fighting for their lives. And if we underestimate any of those teams, we're going to come unstuck. And unfortunately, historically, that's actually been one of our Achilles' heels, I think, hasn't it? We generally always do better against the better teams. It's always they're the sort of games to be more worried about, I think, because generally we quite often just seem to underestimate those games and have come unstuck. So that'll be an important test between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, definitely. And we're seeing a post today, CJ. This one popped up. Super Frankie's at the wheel. If the season had started in November, we'd be knocking on automatics. I mean, it is some. I mean, as we're just talking about the results, it is some run that we are on under Frank and the team, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's remarkable, isn't it? What we've been able to achieve since he came in. I mean, I mean, you look at that table. I mean, the thing is, it's only 2 places difference, I suppose. Isn't it? That's one way of looking at it. But even so, like to be above Burnley effectively in that time that's something else, isn't it? Compared to, considering the run that they've been on. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. At the time, obviously, I was very dubious about the gentleman that left. Mate, I staggered. I think the word I used a lot, but a lot of it was just due to the fact that I didn't think we'd get somebody with the caliber of him coming in. There was a lot of talk of Van Nistelrooy. And I said at the time, I thought when he took over at Leicester, I thought he's massively beneath them, and I think Lampard's a bit above us. Yeah, probably a fair bit above us, really. And yeah, it's kind of. I mean, I'll probably a bit wrong there because you look at this squad. He's got the best out of this squad, hasn't he? And this squad could have been doing that before. I think possibly.
I think Sheffield United, what's his name? I keep forgetting it. I always forget his name. What's his name in charge of Sheffield? Wilder, that's the one. Chris Wilder. He said after we played them, he said if that team had played like that when Mark Robbins was at the club, he wouldn't have got the sack. So I think, he knocked the nail on the head there. Now, please stay tuned because we've got some exciting news later on for everybody. So please stay tuned. This is going to be a long show tonight. We have got some exciting news to bring to you later on. We're going to get some comments in just a sec, but before I do that, head over to listen to this or watch this. You can listen to it on Spotify or you can watch on our channel on YouTube, the Sky Blue History Podcast with Jim Brown and our very own Claudio with David Cross. Now, I listened to this today at work. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Some of the stories he was telling about when he played against George Best and things, it was just unbelievable. And his career was amazing. He'd come to Coventry, played for West Brom twice, been to West Ham, and it was absolutely brilliant. So and Norwich, he played for Norwich as well. And he was our record signing as well, wasn't he, Claudio? £180,000 at the time, was it?
It was 150, and then we sold him to West Brom, and it was their record signing. And then I think he went to West Ham, and it was their record signing. So he had 3 record signings at the time. He scored goals, 224 goals in 599 matches. That's some rate, that is.
And he said he scored 99 goals in 200 games, which was phenomenal as well. And he was assistant coach to Ian Dowie at Oldham. So there you go. Brilliant. So head over and watch that after this show tonight if you've got nothing to watch. Also, don't forget to get your tickets, excuse me, for Micky Quinn night, May the 2nd. They're selling like hotcakes at the moment. We're nearly sold 100 tickets, which is absolutely fantastic. In the description, there is a link to buy the tickets. If not, head over to Chris Baker's page on Facebook. Also, Walsgrave Working Men's Club on Facebook as well. And it was even in the Cov Live today on their Facebook page, which was really good. And don't forget, if you're not doing anything and you're down in Plymouth, on Sunday the 20th of April, we're live from the Moxie. Only for an hour, though, because we're off out on the town. So join us down there as well. Right, let's get some comments in then, please, Claudio, before we get our Stoke guest coming in.
Right. Well, Mikey says, highly recommend watching the EFL Unfiltered interview with Frank. It's a great insight into his management style and a brilliant advert for the club. I know that I've watched it, Mark. Yeah, how upbeat was he? It made me feel good, actually, about our club again, listening to it. Very, very upbeat. Paul Clifford, we must welcome MR with open arms. He's our greatest living manager and must be welcomed amongst us. And yes, we must sing the song before the game and after the game, during the game. We are enemies. We're going to any Mark Robins comments. We're going to talk about that later, aren't we, Miles? We are going to cover that. Lots of evening alls. Thank you very much. Sky Blue. Sky Blue Sam doesn't care about Mark Robins anymore. Frank is our manager. Fair enough. Anyway, Hector, these are all about Mark Robins at the minute. Right. Gary Stones. Rodoni injury has come at the wrong time. Definitely our most important player. James Hollyoak says Rodoni, I think he'll play. From what we've heard, he won't. And they're trying to. What I heard was, if it had been earlier in the season, they'd have done an operation, but they're hoping they don't have to, and hopefully see the season out basically and do something in the summer. Neil Jakes says, I was hoping Claudia was going to open the show like the way Sabrina Carpenter opened the Brits.
No, we get Ofcom complaints.
Yes. I'm not going to do an impression of Sabrina Carpenter wearing stockings and suspenders and singing espresso. Least we forget MR is a couple. Oh, another one about. Yeah, we'll get to these. Lots and lots more comments about Mark Robins.
Yeah, we'll do all them later.
Massive game, Steve Price says. Make it 9 out of 10. We'll be emotional with MR's return. Agree with Miles, says Offer of Mercia. A win against Stoke and Derby will really set down a marker. Graham Cockrell, this is a long one. Made the effort. I'll read this out. Good evening to everyone. I'd like to say I support MR. When he was manager, he gave us so many memories. We always want better players in the team. Lampard has the same players besides Grimes and has won 8 out of 9. So I see it as an upgrade as in manager. Ian Smith, his bags are packed. Fly tomorrow. For a week, taking in 3 games, a rare treat.
Wow. Safe journey, Ian.
And Bomber Bidwell. Calm down. All 7 teams, all within 5th place. How long can we go on being average but winning? I think our lads can be a little emotional, so having MR there might affect them. Brian Tully in Coventry. Tully says, evening, Claudia. Cannot wait until Saturday lunchtime. 3-1 Cov. No reason we can't win all 3. Time to make 5th our spot, says Hector. Sims and Bissett up front. That's from Realms of Possibility. Ian Small says 4-3-3. Or Alan in for Rudy, assuming Torp is out. Very good evening from Wayne Littlewood. There's an interesting situation this weekend to see how we cope without Rodoni. Although I'm sure Frank called him Rudini in that interview. I thought he signed some sort of Russian ballet dancer or something.
He loves him anyway, no matter what.
Well, it's interesting what he said, that he's taken on board and he says he keeps asking questions of how can he make himself better. Yeah, brilliant. Agree with CJ, says Ralph Wiggins. Sims up front on his own and keep the 2 wingers, Haji on the bench. And best wishes to Ralph, who's had a tough time recently.
Yes.
Struggling with health, but I spoke to him last night, Tuesday. And Mark Rainbow, we have to keep the momentum going all the way to the final games. We can't just fall into the playoffs. Teams with momentum tend to get to the final games. Annie Drury, we're all happy sitting in fifth in the table. I want to finish fifth, so the chance I would play Sunderland in the playoff. That's, I think it's the best place to finish, to be honest. Or fourth or fifth, either will do. If you can scrape through the playoffs by some minor miracle, how do you think we'll perform? I think badly, but it'd be worth the parachute payments. I'm not looking that far ahead, aren't you guys? That's yeah. I'm just trying to get past Stoke. Danny Drury. Can't believe he's out with the shoulder injury, but Shifo will fill his place, I think.
If he's fit enough.
Yeah. Stephen McGovern, talk won't last 90 for Rudy. And Gary Anderson, people who keep saying 4-4-2 need to realise the game's changed. If we play 4-4-2 in 2024, we'll get overrun. Out-of-date formation for a reason. Maybe we should try it in 2025, Gary. Blimey, Gary, where you been?
You couldn't just leave it, could you? You had to put it in, didn't you?
He fell asleep underneath a tree, didn't he? And then woke up and everything had changed. I'll tell you what, if you had gone away...
I'll tell you what, he's going to have a shock on Saturday when he sees Robbins in the away dugout.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you'd have gone off somewhere for 9 years ago and just took no notice of football whatsoever and then came back, you'd be thinking, what's happened in the last 8 years? It's like bizarre, isn't it? Wayne Litwood, Sheaf needs to step up now and get back to his old self. He's been disappointing so far when he has played. Not sure if he's eyeing a move away at the end of the season. I believe Liam is in the background, Miles.
He is. Should we get him in? Let's come back to some more comments later on. After we've spoken about Stoke and the man that's coming along with them, we will then carry on the conversation after about Mark Robbins. So if you haven't already had to go, we'll ask Liam in a minute. Liam, while you're there, just have a quick look at this. Pick a spot the ball, and I'll ask you as soon as you come on. Everyone, get your spot the ball guesses in. You can win a prize tonight. We've got a mug up for grabs. If you can guess where the ball is, it's Oxford last weekend. Is it in the net? I don't know. It might be. So have a guess. Where do you think the ball is? You can win a mug tonight. We'll get Liam's verdict in just a sec. So have a go there if you would like. And if you don't want to win one and you want to buy one, you can buy them now. Mug and coasters, they're really nice. SkyBlueFansTV@gmail.com. $15.95. That's all. That's 2 pints of lager at the football, that is. There you go. That's how cheap they are. So there you have it. You get 2 items. Right then, let's get Liam in. Good evening, Liam.
Evening, everyone.
How are you? You all right?
I'm okay. I haven't had to watch Stoke for 3 or 4 days, so I'm doing okay.
Brilliant. I love that. Now, listen, let's before we talk about who, let's talk about Stoke then. I mean, you beat us first game of the season. We were shell-shocked because we all had great expectations of our team, but it took the sacking of a manager to really turn our form around. I mean, how do you feel about Stoke seasons so far?
Oh, it's been a calamity, to be honest with you. 4 managers in now this season, if you count Ryan Shawcross as temporary manager. No real style of play still now from the start till then. Young team with very little fight and very rudderless so far. We are in very close to having PSR issues as well next season, and we couldn't spend in January or get anybody in really apart from a loan. So it's been a tough old watch, if I'm honest with you.
And do you put that down to the recruitment team, or is it the managerial styles, or is it just because they're a young team?
I think the main thing is recruitment, and it has been for Stoke since probably 2 years before we got relegated from the Premier League. They tried to go self-sufficient instead of blowing loads of money, and in doing that they've ended up spending more money I think they could have possibly imagined. So recruitment's a massive thing. There's no real leadership from up top. What they tend to do is follow a trend. So they'll see Brighton doing a stats kind of model of transfers, and they'll go for that, and then that won't work, and then they'll give it a manager to do, and that won't work, and there's no consistency whatsoever.
And I mean, you mentioned they're a young team. I mean, have you got, what's your strengths in that young team? Because I have watched some of the highlights that I've seen, and you have got some quite skillful players out there. I mean, who would you think is the most standout players for you so far?
So I suppose at the minute, the spine of the team, if we can keep them fit, is reasonably strong in terms of Johansson in goal. We'll put him up there as one of the best keepers in the league. In all honesty, without him, we would be probably adrift right now. At the beginning of the season, it's probably the best goalkeeping displays I've seen over a lengthy period of time. Ashley Phillips at centre-back. He's 19 on loan from Spurs, and he's carried the defence, basically, which is probably an indictment in itself of the transfers that a 19-year-old is the best player in his first full season in the Championship. Wouter Berger in centre midfield. He really dropped off for a long period of time, but the past few games he's back, and he's been playing all right, but he's been injured. And then Al Hamadi up front we've bought in from Ipswich. He seems probably a real live wire up front. He's a proper, what I like to call a Stoke forward, where he'll run the channels, he'll give everyone a hard time, he'll work. He's grabbed a goal so far, and he's been a bit of a pest. So the spine of the team is good. The rest of the team, not so much.
And so where do you think you need to improve as a team going forwards?
So what we've got from our lack of recruitment is we've got a lot of players who are good technically, Million Manoff, Juno, players like that, who haven't really got the Championship experience or any real grit or determination about them. And then on the other spectre, we've got Ben Pearson and Jordan Thompson and Ender Stevens, who are a bit long in the tooth maybe, and more Championship ready, but lack that real quality. I mean, the injury record we've had has been horrendous this season. Most of our players have been out for most of the season. Robin said in an interview just gone that he's bringing players back in now who probably shouldn't be playing anywhere near the minutes they are. Ben Pearson absolutely ran himself into the ground against Watford, and you're kind of watching it thinking, please don't break down, please, that we can't cope with it again. But yeah, like I say, it's just a really unbalanced squad, and young as well, like I say. So a lot of the more experienced championship teams are taking control of games, I suppose, against us more than anything.
I mean, when you signed your keeper, I think everyone was envy of Stoke when you signed him, because we thought we might have had a sniff at him, and maybe we might have poached him away and things like that, with a team that's close to the playoffs. Obviously, a team that got to the semi-finals, the FA Cup, we thought that maybe we might manage to grab him, but you did grab him. And do you think he's been your most outstanding player this season for yourself and the fans? Yeah,
by standout. If you ask any Stoke fan who the player of the season is, there's no doubt about it. I was as surprised when he came to us as anyone. I can see why he hasn't got a Premier League move, in terms of he can be a little bit rash at times. He will run out of his box and mess up a clearance, and the ball will bounce over him. It's happened a couple of times, but for the few times that happens, it's worth it, because some of the saves I've seen him make have been unbelievable, and he's relatively calm. His catching's pretty good. He can kick. He's got pretty much all the attributes to be a top keeper. So I was surprised when he came. I think he'll go in the summer, no matter what. Even though he's got a decent contract with us, we need money, well, we don't need money. We've got lots of money, but we've spent it that badly that we can't spend it anymore. So, which is fair enough. The rules are the rules. So I think him and a few other ones will go, and we should get decent money for him. But I'll be sad seeing him go, I think.
And have you heard any rumours about Stoke coming to poach some of our players with Mr. Robbins at the helm now?
So it was quite linked on our side. I don't know about yours. We were quite heavily linked with Josh Eccles in January, because Wouter Berger had a bid accepted from a team in Belgium, I believe, and that was the apparent replacement. I don't know how true that is. We also got linked with Thomas Asante as well, but I think we've been linked with him every summer for the past 3 or 4 years. So I don't know how true any of them are, but they're the only two really. I don't think any of the others would want to come, even if we tried signing.
Yeah, I mean, we a lot of the rumours were flying around. Well, even now they're flying around the terraces. I've heard over the last few games that Eccles might be one that makes way in the summer and maybe come to Stoke because of Mark Robbins there, because Mark does like Eccles. But I mean, he's got a 4-year deal on his contract, so I think it would be quite a hefty fee that you'd have to pay out to get him, to be honest, because of obviously the extension on his contract that we put on this year. So let's get on the conversation then about Mr. Robbins. How have the Stoke fans taken to him?
A mixed bag, to be honest with you. I think a lot of the people like his interviews after the games. He's pretty honest. He says what he sees, and he normally picks the game apart quite well. But on the other hand, some of his decision making in terms of team selection and substitutes have been way off. And I know he's new to the job, but when we played the Middlesbrough game 2 games ago at home, the team come out, and I couldn't believe what I was reading. We had the weakest midfield I've seen line up for a Stoke team in God knows how long. And when he very first came, he was saying that the players had run themselves into the ground. We played a game away, I can't remember who against, and he made no subs whatsoever. Just after he'd interviewed saying they'd run themselves into the ground, we're kind of sitting there thinking, well, that doesn't make any sense. So it's not really on him in terms of it's been a horrendous season. Like I said, he's the 4th gaffer to have these players. The players aren't very good, but there is also some odd decisions going on as well.
Do you think now that is because he doesn't really know the players? You know, he's come into the team. You're on a bit of a downer when he came in. Do you think it's because he doesn't really know the players yet? I mean, when Frank took over with us, we had Reece Carr stay on for a good few weeks, wasn't it? Claudio and CJ, I think he was here for about 2 months,
games.
wasn't it? Was it? Yeah, he's still here.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
but I mean,
yeah.
He stayed at the club. He stayed at the club while Frank was settling in, so he got to know the players. Yeah. Did Mark Robbins have anything like that, or has Mark Robbins just been throwing in there? Here's your players, and this is who you got to get to know.
Yeah, so he came in with the 2 new coaches, the one from the England setup, and then the other one from Newport. They were his new coaching staff, and Alex Morris, who was the first team coach, he left, but he has brought Ryan Shawcross in as a first team coach now. So obviously he lives and breathes the club. So, but having said that, I understand he's got to try the players out, and I think it's just tense as fans when you know the players and you know what hasn't worked in the past and what has worked in the past, and then you see the players that hasn't worked in the past being lined up all together in a squad, and you think, oh God. And then, Middlesbrough absolutely battered us at home. They beat us 3-1 and they absolutely were all over us. So you're like, I could have done that job. You could have paid me to do that. But like I say, I think he's working out the kinks. He saw that we got run over against Middlesbrough at home, and then the next game against Watford, he pretty much put a team of grafters out. And we battled a 0-0 draw, but we were severely lacking in quality that game. So it's just getting a mix, really. And like I say, none of this is really on him. It's been rudderless for years. So he's just trying to pick up the pieces, I guess. And a lot of Stoke fans, if you asked him, they said, we'd keep Robbins if we go down. If we do go down, you just keep him there and let him do what he needs to do. Because it kind of feels like at Stoke that you need a grown-up to have a word with a few players. And I think Robbins could be the kind of person who looks to the higher level, like your John Coates and Jonathan Walters, and grab them around the collar and say, look, lads, what have you been playing at? This is what we need to do. Can you just be sensible for once and try and build a team and a squad?
Yeah, I was going to say, what do the fans think of the longevity of Mark Robbins? Do you think that the club will keep him if you do get relegated? Because you're in a battle at the moment, and we were just talking before you came on air that okay, we're playing you Saturday, we're playing Derby in the week, and we're playing a lot of teams below us, but you're all scrapping to stay up. It could be a real banana skin for us with Mark Robbins coming back this weekend. I mean, do you think, if anything does happen drastically, do you think Mark will stay?
I would like to hope so, but also I don't think Steven Schumacher also really deserved to get sacked at the time he did. So who's to know with Stoke's hierarchy? I think the fans will give him as much time as he needs. I think they were doing that with Schumacher. Schumacher made some crazy decisions and he wasn't the best, but he kind of had his steady. So there's a lot of shock when he went. I think most Stoke fans, I know we were pretty stable for years with Pulis and then Mark Hughes. We were a very stable club, and now we feel like we've gone a bit more trigger happy, let's say. And I think the fans, more than anything, are sick to death of it. I think they'd rather just give somebody a bit of time to try and work on it and see what they can do. And I think it normally comes with a bit of consistency, success. I know sometimes you get some managers come in and they get a bit of like lightning in a bottle and you fire up the league. But I think consistency is key. Like with yourselves, I know Frank's new into the job, but generally over a period of time, you've had a big bulk of consistency. And Frank's just probably tweaking that for the better now. So how good Robbins was for you, things can go stale, can't they, over a long period of time. So I would like him to at least get a couple of seasons in the job. We meander between 17th and 14th in the championship, so I don't know what difference giving him time is going to make. Compared, if you sack him now, we'll probably be in the same spot anyway, so we might as well give him as much time as we can.
Well, you brought up Mark Hughes. He got sacked the day after we knocked you out the FA Cup, didn't he? If you remember,
He did. It was. Feels like an age ago.
It does seem like a long time ago. That does. Longevity is a key. We were saying about Frank Lampard. When we first announced Frank Lampard, my big worry is that he's using us as a stepping stone. He wouldn't be here more than probably 2 seasons and he'll be gone, where we've been so used to having Mark Robbins. He joined us 8 years ago today. How random is that playing you this weekend, he's manager of your team, and we signed him 8 years ago today. It was a shock. It was a shock to all of us. CJ, what was the words you said when he got released?
Staggered.
Staggered
was the just to be like I said, a lot of it was just that we wouldn't get somebody of the caliber of Lampard in after. To be honest with you, that's kind of what I was still kind of thinking. But we were on a reasonable run, weren't we? We lost the derby the night before, but we weren't doing too bad for a couple of games before that. So
yeah. And Claudia, what did you say? Because I can't remember that far back because I was drinking too many cocktails.
You're in Jamaica, weren't you? No, I think, and Ken said similar, that he was a manager. Because normally if you get sacked, you've failed. And he hadn't failed. He was just failing. It just wasn't going right. And I think, as it was explained by Doug King, he was given a mandate to sort out his coaching staff, and it didn't happen. And that defeat against Derby was the final straw, regardless of the 2 games against Middlesbrough and Luton, which we won. And I think Doug had enough, didn't he? Basically, and pulled the trigger. I'm just surprised that Stoke went for Mark Robbins, because I just feel Stoke needed an impact manager, someone to go in there and get them going straight away. Mark Robbins isn't that kind of manager. He's a slow build manager. He likes to build squads, doesn't he? On a sort of low budget Alex Ferguson type building squads, basically. So he might get some. And actually, you've probably got the right man if you got no money, because that's what he did. It's when he had money, he was struggling to get the players for the. That's what most of us fans have said. When he had the money, he seemed to not know what to do with it. You know,
Yeah.
but without the cash, he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's built, you know, and of course it's your recruitment team as well. It's so important nowadays.
It has come out in the local paper that he is looking at completely restructuring the recruitment side of things because he can't believe how poor it is. So
yeah, because I joked saying that by the time you play us, will he still be in a job the way you're sacking manager? Because you know, I just thought it seemed like a strange move, and for him, I mean, most of us Cov fans will probably say he looked exhausted by the time he left. I think it wasn't easy managing Coventry City, especially for a few seasons when there was no money and we're trying to get fans back on board. You know, I mean, what's happening now is incredible, Liam, here. But for 5 years ago, it wasn't really like that. 5-6 years ago, he was trying to gain the trust of the fans again. And he's probably got to do the same with your crowd, basically.
Yeah, he is very fan orientated at the minute.
Yeah.
The thing is, as Claudio just said, you have probably got one of the best managers to work with a small budget. You know, the year we got to the playoff final, we had one signing, didn't we? With Casey Palmer. It was our only signing, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. And that was on a free from Bristol City. He can bring players in on free transfers and really get the best out of them. But then it is down to Stoke owners then to give him that time. And I think if you do give him that time, I think he will be very good for you, and he could be there a long time. I mean, as I say, he was with us 7.5 years. 8 years ago today, he joined us. Now, before we carry on, just everyone stay with us because we've got a bit of a surprise later. We've got 2 announcements, very exciting announcements. So please stay tuned. You will love it. You will absolutely love what I'm going to announce later on. You will not want to miss it. Now, Liam, I asked you to check out this picture before you come on air. Give us a guess where you think the ball is.
Well, firstly, from watching Stoke all season, it's surprising to see many of them on target. I know that. I think I'm going to go for number 2. Maybe it's snuck in the bottom corner there. Yeah.
Okay, number 2. Oh, Vicky went for number 2 as well. Brilliant.
All right. Okay.
So everyone, get your guesses in, and we'll announce it before the end of the show. Right then, Claudio, we got any stats on us against Stoke then going into this game on Saturday?
Well, even Stevens, 31 wins, 31 losses, and 11 draws. So,
wow.
But I mean, over the years, it's a case of we normally do better at our place, and we don't do so well at. I was going to say Victoria Ground and at the Britannia. What's it called now? What's it called?
365.
Still right, still bets. Yeah. So normally away from home, both teams struggle. So you know, statistically, we should win this, but you know. It's not played in statistics. It's football on pitches, not on paper.
That's the thing.
But but of course, I mean, we're not. I mean, the year we got to the playoffs, they battered us 4-0, didn't they?
Yes.
That come out of nowhere. After start watching that game, what's happening here?
How many is Stoke bringing this weekend?
I'm not sure, but we tend to fill most of the away sections we get. To be honest, we get a fantastic away following, so you won't be far off full, if not full. To be honest.
Oh, brilliant! That's good then, because that creates a really good atmosphere within the CBS, and I think we've had bumper sales, and I think the tickets have been a little bit cheaper for this because it got moved to be on Sky, and we're going to talk about later on in our show sometime about. 2 more games have been moved. Everything keeps getting moved at the moment, which is quite annoying, but it can be a little bit frustrating. Let's get some scores then. Let's come to you first, CJ. Let's have some scores. What do you reckon this Saturday?
I mean, you look at the run of form, you've got to be looking at us winning, but I just think there's a fair bit of story behind the game, isn't there? There's going to be. I can see it being cagey. I think it might be 1-1. You know,
1-1. Okie doke.
I think. I think we'll possibly 1-0 up, and then kind of Stoke equalise late on.
Right. Whoa. Okay. A bit of a thriller then. A thriller 1-1. Claudio.
I think we might sneak this, but I haven't gone to that players' meeting, and Milan was saying they're already thinking about what Mark Robbins is thinking about them, because obviously he knows them inside out. So, I mean, I don't want that to play on their minds, but it can do, can't it? So hopefully, maybe Frank is going to come up with something that's going to baffle Mark Robbins, because that's the key, isn't it, here? He knows our players better than anybody, doesn't he? So, you know, it's only 3-4 months ago he was coaching them. So I think we'll sneak it 1-0. It's not going to be pretty. You know, I can't. Knowing the way Mark Robbins sets his teams up, he's going to set them up not to concede a goal, basically. So I'm going for a 1-0. We're going to turn into Burnley for the last 11 matches.
I don't care. That'll do me. Absolutely brilliant. Liam.
So my heart is saying we'll get a draw, and I'm hoping that, even though I think everyone's wishes Robbins well at Coventry and is glad for what he did and all that, I'm hoping there's a little bit of needle in the game, and maybe it gives us something to cling on to. But I think he'll put a team of grafters out like he did against Middlesbrough, and like you say, I think he will try and stop you from scoring. And Al Hamadi is pretty quick, and they'll try to play on the break. But my head, which is normally what I go with, thinks that you might beat us quite comfortably, to be honest, because we are quite poor. It's not. I don't like digging my own team out, but if you look at the run of games that we've had, we are quite a poor side, lacking in quality. So the only real thing I can see us doing is trying to grit out a draw, or it could be a comfortable win, in all honesty, for you.
Okay. Right. I'm going to go. I think we'll concede again. Just something about this game. I think we'll concede. I'm going to go a 2-1, very tight 2-1 win, I think. To the Sky. I think we've got momentum, although it is a dangerous word, as Lampard keeps telling us. But yeah, I think
it is hard to stop, though. It is hard to stop momentum.
It can be hard. Look at Leeds and Burnley. You know, Burnley, I think they've conceded something like 4 goals all season or something stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. Claudio, before we let Leon go, because we kept him quite a long time, is there any comments for him?
I wish you'd have said that earlier.
I've seen a couple. Let me scroll down. I have seen a couple. Bear with me.
I was reading the ones at the top.
Yeah, no, it was me. Sorry. There was one from, where is it? I like the one from, sorry, I've got to put this one because it's quite funny. Dark Fart says Schumacher is only good at racing, apparently. So that was the one. On the up, that's my cousin Martin. Good evening, Martin. Mark Robbins will turn it around at Stoke. He always did with Cov. Look at his record. So you've got some confidence there from my cousin there.
He is hoping.
Wayne Littlewood says team selection and substitutions. That rings a bell on our forum when Mark Robbins was in charge for us. Where was this? Liam, I wonder if you missed the glory years of Tony. Let's get the 40 points, Pulis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was there then. So Pulis, when we were in the Premier League, it was all about 40 points, and we used to literally, when we first went up, the team would work their absolute socks off, and then we'd hit 40 points and we'd lose every game for the rest of the season as if the job was done to avoid relegation. But when Claudio was talking before about when Robbins went, I think it would have been very similar to you guys as when Pulis went for us, because we had Pulis for 10 years. Now, he wasn't doing particularly well at the time, and his football had kind of gone stale. But when the phone message come through, I remember it still now, of Tony Pulis has left Stoke, like, you get that weird feeling in the pit of your stomach where it's changed for the first time in so long. So you're just like, this is odd. So yeah, Tony Pulis will always be a legend at Stoke. They need to get a statue up of him, because I never thought I'd see Stoke play in the Premier League. I know I was 20, I think, when we went up, or roughly about that age, and at that point, I never thought I'd see us in the Premier League. And you know, you look at us now; it doesn't. it might be the best we've ever had, an FA Cup final and 3 ninth place finishes. It might never get back to that. So, yeah, what a guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's, as you're saying, we're getting a statue soon for George and John. We are. Big George and John, when we won the FA Cup, I think is going to be unveiled on Good Friday, I think, which is nice. Dart Farts has said, Stoke will win, but will be a tight game. You just know Mark Robins has come back to get one over on his ex-employers. There you go. So,
if you want a weird stat, we had Gary Rowett in, and he beat Derby when we took him off Derby, and we had Nathan Jones, who lost nearly every game but beat Luton, and we've had a load of managers who've come in and seem to do well against their ex teams. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we might do it again. Really is fingers crossed. I am clutching at straws there.
A couple of years ago, I was in a pub in Cardiff before England played Wales in the Six Nations, and we were playing Sunderland, and it was on the route to the playoffs. I think we won. Did we win 1-0? I think it was Godwin put a cross in for Gyökeres, I think.
Yeah. Right.
But anyway, a guy just kind of walked in, and I looked over my shoulder. It was Nathan Jones. And he just lost his job. Was he
pumping his chest?
Yeah. And he had really, 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 really nice chap, but absolutely loopy. Completely bonkers. He claimed Gyökeres. He said he's basically he said I'm the one that found him and brought him through because he was at Brighton in the 18s or 21s at Brighton.
Yeah, and when he was, I think he is loopy. I think he lost like 7 games in a row at Stoke, and then we beat Leeds 2-0 at home, and he's pumping his chest and cheering at the Stoke fans, and we're all going, "You've just lost 7 games in a row. What are you cheering about? Get back down the tunnel."
I mean, I did say to him, "Who's the one player from these 2 teams that you're watching now that you'd sign?" He said, "Well, given my current situation, his current job situation, I'd sign all 24." And I thought, well, there's 22 on the pitch, and that might explain why he hasn't got a job.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, really nice guy, nice chap, and yeah,
there you go.
Knowledgeable, very knowledgeable.
Great story. I like that.
He's not well liked at Stoke.
My Sainsbury's delivery has just arrived, actually. So I'll be.
Go on, shoot off and get it. Shoot off and get it. He'll be back in a minute. Gavster Legrand says, "My missus is a Stoke. It will be interested in our house on Saturday night." There you go.
Don't upset her. Don't upset a woman from Stoke.
He probably won't. We're all nice to our wives, I think, sometimes. Right, Liam, thank you so much for joining us again. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. And good luck for the rest of the season, but not Saturday. And I hope Mark Williams can turn it around for you. So good luck for the rest of the season. And, are you coming up Saturday?
Late, maybe. I've got. I'm in talks with my mate getting tickets off him, so possibly. Brilliant. We'll see.
Well, enjoy the day.
Yeah, and you. Not too much, but and you.
And we'll let you know if you win Spot the Ball.
Okay, cheers.
All right. Thanks a lot, Liam.
Cheers. Guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. Superb. Just fantastic. Should we get Vic back in? Here she is. Oh, where's she gone? There she is. There she is. There she is. Now she isn't there. Now she is. Hello. Right then. So let's have a little chat then about Mark Robins. I know we got a little insight from the Stoke fans, but 8 years today signed for us. Vic, what did you say earlier about this photo?
I said, look how young he looks. We've proper aged him.
We definitely did. I think there was a lot of stress going on under his reign with the Sky Blues, especially when he took over. And I mean, now that shirt tells you everything about where our club was. Shocking. 8 years ago. Awful shirt. White as a home shirt. Awful shirt. and that just shows you where we were. Terrible, absolutely terrible. But there's the 3 trophies we lifted under him. Absolutely brilliant. Checker trade. What a great day out that was. And then you got the playoff final, and obviously League One, but in lockdown. Wouldn't it be great to get a promotion out of lockdown so we can really celebrate? But I mean, he did do a fantastic job for us. Martin's probably going to say, "Oh, I know what you said when he came back and all this." I said, "Yeah, I know," but a lot of people did, and he did a fantastic job for us. This weekend, though, the gloves are off, and I really do hope that we can do something. But I mean, we'll come to you, Claudio. You've seen the Jimmy Hill era. You're the oldest one here. So you've seen the Jimmy Hill era, and all the success he brought to the club, and the way he brought, rose the club from the flames like the city and everything else. And it's on our club crest, and we wear it with pride because of what Coventry means to us as fans, but not just the football, but the whole city itself. I mean, for you, how would you rate Mark Robins out of all the managers that you've seen over the many, many hundreds of years you've been following Coventry City?
Well, the records say is the second most successful manager, isn't he, really? And it's difficult because George and John won the FA Cup, but that's a few games, isn't it? But, you don't have to be a brilliant manager to win the FA Cup, basically. Wigan won the FA Cup. I can think of loads of teams who've won the FA Cup. It's just one of those things, pure luck in some respects, even though it was magnificent to do it. But Jimmy Hill, what they did in the 60s was incredible, and we did get into the top flight. That's the difference. Mark Robins, it's a different kind of brilliance, isn't it? Because he was doing it with nothing, basically, absolutely nothing. There was no money. I mean, the difference is with Jimmy Hill, it was Derek Robbins, the owner. He just gave him what he wanted. Jimmy Hill was our Brian Clough. He basically told the chairman or the owner, "I'm buying him. I'm doing this. I'm doing that." And he just went with it because he trusted him. So, I mean, what Mark Robins did is pretty spectacular. We were that season in League Two. If we hadn't gone out of that year, we were in big, big trouble. As some fans don't realise, we were going only one way after that. We were doing a Notts County. We had to get out the first attempt. Dave Boddy will tell you they had to get out that division. They couldn't afford one more year in that league. So it's massive. I mean, I know we only scraped through into the playoffs in the end, but we did it. And not blow. And I don't know what. On Saturday, people do what you want. That's why I look at it. You can sing his name, you can give him a round of applause. All I know is this: I think we were all at Blackburn when Faz was playing for Blackburn, and we all sang the Faz song for about 20 minutes during the game. We were singing it, and he was playing in position after he skinned Callum O'Hare and set up the penalty incident, didn't he? We were singing his name. So I can't see why fans are getting a bit stroppy because some people might sing there's only one Mark Robins. This is the only chance for some people to give a round of applause. It's the least he deserves, isn't it? I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand the nastiness that's coming through some of the idiot fans we've got. Actually, I don't get it.
I think he does deserve a round of applause and his name's sung. But please, by the way, please stay tuned because we've got something really exciting to tell you later on. So please stay tuned. You're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it. I think we do. I was in the mind of singing his song until Saturday, just gone. And when we've won 8 games out of 9, Vicky and CJ, if you want it, I'll come to you in just a sec. But you'll see what I'm trying to say here. We've won 8 games out of 9. We've got the momentum going. Do we really want to be singing his song at the beginning of the game? I think we go out there, go for the 9th out of 10 wins, and at the end of the game, we sing his song, and then he can come round the stadium and wave to people. That's how I think we should do it. We should be hungry for this weekend. We should go for this. We're in the playoffs. And I said this in the car on the way home because I was all up for singing his song when he comes out the tunnel and all that. But after we won on Saturday and we've won 8 out of 9, I was like, nah. I said, forget that. I says, we go win the game and then we do it after, because we have to win this game Saturday. We have to win Tuesday. We have to, because we are a team that everyone's scared about. We've made all the teams around us slip up because of this form. Everyone's started panicking because we're on this little run, and we've made West Brom slip up. We've made Blackburn slip up, even though they lost the manager. We've caused that because we've put pressure on them. We need to keep doing it. So I think we go and absolutely annihilate them. Then we sing Mark Robins' song. CJ, what do you reckon?
I'd probably go for that. I'd go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we put it. We do it at the end. I mean, similar sort of thing with Watford and Anderson earlier this season. But I don't know. Will he really walk round the pitch at the end? I don't know. I don't. I think I could see him like going over to their fans, kind of like turning round, maybe giving ours a little bit of a clap, and then popping off down the dressing room. That's what I can probably see. But yeah, I wouldn't have a problem singing his name at the end. But people can do what they want to do, can't they?
Yeah, of course they can. Yeah, exactly. Anyone can do whatever they want to do. Vic, how do you feel on this? Because we're going to get some comments, and there's loads of different comments, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole range of opinion out there, isn't there? Like Claudio just said. I mean, I'm Claudio. I'm baffled about the degree of hostility that some people have got. I just don't understand that at all. And could only imagine maybe that's people who forgot where we were when he came in and are sort of basing it on just a couple of months of sort of low form. Because, I mean, the fact that we're in a position to even have ambitions to get into the Premier League is on the back of the foundations that he's built for our club. The fact that we're getting gates of over 20,000, he's built all of that and put the foundations in place for Frank to come in and hopefully just take the final step. And so I don't understand why people have got this degree of hostility. But for me, the way I mean, I've been thinking about it all week because there's been a lot of debate about it. I was trying to think because it is difficult, isn't it? Because ultimately, when the match starts, it's about supporting our own team and getting to be points. That's all that matters. And it's just about trying to work out the best way that everybody can do what they want without it being difficult, I suppose. And when we were at Oxford on Saturday, their announcer, that loudspeaker man, said, like, welcome to Coventry, here's their team, Frank Lampard Coventry. And I thought, actually, that would be a way to deal with it. You get JD to say, here's Stoke, here's the Stoke team, and welcome back to Mark Robins. And he comes out and everyone just has a little clap, and then that just draws the line under it, doesn't it? And it's before the game, it's before the match has started, it's before live and die and all that sort of stuff. And it just so for me that seems quite a nice way, because the trouble is after the match, somebody's not going to be happy. If we lose, we don't want to be like we're going to be frustrated, aren't we? We're not going to want to. And if they've lost, either way, the result's going to impact how people feel at the end of the game. Whereas you just do a little thing at the beginning, draw a line under it, and that's done then, isn't it?
I think
very good point. Yeah.
It is a good point. I think that is absolutely brilliant. JD does watch this show, so JD, I know you're watching. So do what Vic's just asked you to do. Brilliant. We'll get Stuart to turn the speakers up a little bit louder for you as well, Vic. So I'll tell you what, that's a cracking idea, isn't it? That is a cracking idea. I'll tell you what, Vic, you are the most sensible person on this show. You really are. You're the most sensible person on this show. Claudia, I want to pick up on something you said about Jimmy Hill and, how great he was because he got us to the top flight. It is such a shame that Mark didn't quite manage that, isn't it? Because, the 3 trophies he won, which, if people have forgotten, let's remind people, Victoria, that have been putting things on social media. This man brought us, 3 trips to Wembley, 4 trips to Wembley in 8 years. 4 trips to Wembley in 8 years. There's only a few handful of teams that could even dream that. Man City won, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea. They're probably the teams that are the ones that go to Wembley the most. And we've done it 4 times in 8 years. It is such a shame that he didn't manage to get us there, isn't it, Claudio?
Oh, most definitely, because we thought that was the trajectory, didn't we? We just thought he was going to do it. He was the one. You know, we'd already designed the statue and everything, hadn't we, for him? And it just fell short. It just fell short. And for whatever reason, the backroom staff, it all imploded, didn't it? And I don't know, maybe it's down to pressure, Miles. Maybe that's what the problem was. You know, when it got to real nitty-gritty, there was some doubt with a lot of fans thinking, has he got enough to get us over the line, to get us into the Premier League? And I think Doug King just thought he hadn't. But it is a shame because he did think he was going to do it, and it would have been the wonderful fair. I mean, to be honest, the game against Luton was the one, wasn't it? That's the game, that playoff final. And in some ways, you can say it was his own fault because we just didn't turn up that first half. We were so poor that first half, I thought. And we were lucky to be in it. If it had not been for VAR, we'd have been 3 goals down at half time. It was a shambles, wasn't it, that first half? But that was the chance. That was the chance, you know. And, of course, we know exactly what happened after that. But, it's a shame. It's a shame that he didn't get us over the line. And it would have been the perfect story, wouldn't it? You know, he probably, in the end, probably stayed with us a season too long, if I'm honest.
Yeah, someone I think Will, my lad, said that to me. He thinks that he should have gone last season. Maybe it was getting a bit stale then, because even Will said he was starting to not enjoy the football, even though we had that great cup run. I mean, you got to admit, I mean, that turnaround we did against Man United was just phenomenal, and even the commentators on the TV said that we've been robbed of an amazing, the best ever comeback in an FA Cup history game, and we missed out. But the way we came back in that game was how good he was for us, wasn't it? And not just him, but AD. Dennis left after Wolves, but those 3, when they were together, they were just unstoppable, really, weren't they? They had such a great chemistry, didn't they?
The problem is, though, Miles, 6 league wins in about 28 league matches. That's what the issue was, and we've done that in a fortnight, pretty much.
Exactly.
So that's the difference. Well, maybe a month, I should say, not a fortnight. But you know what I mean? That's
I was going to say not a fortnight.
And all of a sudden, it looks easy to win games, doesn't it? And you watch it and you think, why weren't we winning games before Christmas? And at the minute, Doug King, he quite rightly can have a big fat cigar and a big glass of wine, thinking, "There you go."
I think he did on Tuesday when he's being interviewed by TalkSport. I think he was sat there with a glass of champagne in the morning and a fat cigar while he was talking on there about it, because he was proud as punch, wasn't he? We'll get to some comments in just a sec. Don't forget, head over to watch the David Cross, interview with Claudio and Jim Brown. I listened to it. Well, I watched it today, actually. Absolutely fantastic. Go and watch it. Go and listen to it on Spotify or watch it on our YouTube channel. The guy is absolutely brilliant. What he talks about his career, how he's record signing for Coventry City. It was absolutely superb. If you haven't already, get your tickets for Micky Quinn night down at the Walsgrave Working Men's Club, 2nd of May, 7 p.m. £10 to get in. Quiz and raffle on the night. Sky Blue Fans TV, we will be hosting it. Sold over 100 tickets so far, so come on, get your tickets in. The link is in the description on YouTube, and please give us a like and subscribe as well. If you're looking for parking on Saturday, head over to coventryparking.co.uk. Loads of different car parks around the area. I think they're getting really fully booked now, actually, because it is going to be a bumper crowd. And if you want coach travel, I've seen someone asking the other night on Facebook about coach travel to Derby. Head over to ccfctravel.co.uk. Please stay tuned, because we've got something really exciting to tell you a little bit later on. We have got a guest coming on next week. It's Jim from Take Me Home Highfield Road. He's just started up this website selling lovely scarves. They've got little embroidered emblems on them to Take Me Home Highfield Road, with the postcode and everything on there. He sent me a sample over today, which we're going to be giving away next Thursday. So not only will we have a mug to give away next Thursday, we're going to have a scarf to go with it. So please join us next week. Give us a like and subscribe. If you subscribe for free on YouTube, it will notify you when we're coming live, and you don't have to remember because it will just ping on your phone or on your laptop, and it will tell you that we're coming live, and you can see all our shows. And we have got some exciting news coming up very shortly for you. Right, let's get some comments coming in then, Claudio, because there's loads.
Right, Peter Doolan says, good evening all. I will clap Robbins after the game. Hopefully we'll win Saturday, cement our spot in the top 6. Brian Tully says, when Liam said Frank's new into the job, it got me thinking he's already about 16th or 17th longest serving manager in the Championship. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Assassins Unite, hi all, 100% Sing and Superb Frank, who's a custodian of our club, a great manager and superb fellow in Frank we trust. This is what Brian Tully says about managers being sacked. Since Lampard's come in, Derby, Oxford, Plymouth, Stoke, Luton have sacked. West Brom left, Hull also sacked. Do you remember, was it last season, the season before in the Premier League, where they got about 8 managers got sacked within about space of a month? It was ridiculous. Autism monkey.
Apparently, Raul from Sheffield Wednesday is going off to Southampton.
Oh, Danny Roll, yeah. Yeah. Autism Monkey, Lampard above us? Rubbish. We are a big club with huge potential. I just won't have fans not see the club. People need to look around like MR did in the trophy final and see it.
I've just looked it up. Lampard is currently the 68th longest serving manager in the EFL and Premier League of the 92. He's been there 97 days. One more than Van Nistelrooy. About a week more than Sellers at Hull.
Wow.
There you go.
So we've got some predictions. James Hollyoake 3-0. Steve Price, I'll always say I'll take a draw with Cov. They're very confident at the moment. I think it'll be 2-0 Cov. Daniel Burton thinks it'll be 3-1. Hector 3-0. I genuinely think we are going to score a few goals against someone. Mick Davenport's gone for a 2-1. On the up 3-1, Lee Lawton says, need to come up with a formation that Robbins isn't expecting.
10 on the goal line.
A silver in goal, or
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be a good one. The silver in goal.
dark farts. Stoke will win, but will be a tight game. You just know Mark Robbins has come back to get one over us, his ex-employees.
I can hear a cat.
It's my cat that on me fit. I've got to warn people earlier. Somehow I've got a tower stacked plug socket thing here. Somehow he managed to put his foot on the top and switch me off. Switched it all off.
Please do it again, cat.
I'm lying on the floor now. Honestly, never worked with children and pets, they say, don't they?
What's his name? What's his name?
Kaneki, named after a Japanese manga person.
Kaneki.
Yeah, it's a manga character. Yeah, don't ask me about this. I didn't name it. This game could go many ways. If the players are all emotional, as Claudia just highlighted, my fear. Good luck to Mark Robbins, but not this weekend. 2-2 draw, says Brian Cronin. Webby's watching from sunny Tenerife like he always does.
Hi, Webby.
Mini Phoenix Gaming said yes, the Tesco bag shirt. It was the same shirt as Malaga, wasn't it? We just had it's just off the shelf, wasn't it? Terrible.
Someone like that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was awful. Awful.
Paul Stratton says the legend that is Mark Robbins deserves a massive round of applause. Sing and dance and chant his name at the final whistle. Hopefully, after we won. It's like Vicky says: if we lose, I'm just going to go back in the box and have a glass of rosé. I ain't clapping anybody.
Are you in the box again this week, mate, Claudio?
It's not.
That's a stop, Ola.
I'll be like this, like a Roman emperor doing this. If we lose. I'll hang over the balcony and do that. Where are we? Hector says, Mark Robbins built the platform for us, and the sales of Vic and Gus have really pushed us on. Getting to the Premier League is now down to Frank. I mean, at the end of the day, these players are recognised when Mark Robbins was here. The Rodoni we're seeing now was the Rodoni that Mark Robbins was talking about when he signed him. You know, it just didn't happen at the start of the season, and it's all a bit weird, and we will probably really never know what was wrong at the start of the season because it wasn't right. And we said it, didn't we, many a times, Miles, on air, that it wasn't right. Oh, just been attacked by the cat.
You know what I'd do with that cat if it's attacking you?
Bloody hell. Blimey, that was a bit sharp. Frank Wood.
It's like Blue Peter, it's like Blue Peter. Mosquito flying around in here somewhere.
just done a whoopsie, me berry. Fans should do whatever they want from Mark Robbins after the final whistle. Sorry, I'm losing it here now. Oh dear.
CJ, you pleased you come on? You pleased you came on?
Yeah, I've missed being on here.
Glad I will be watching at home because I think we might find it all a bit awkward, and the fans might also make the game hard work with all this talk. I don't think it's going to be as bad as people think. I really don't. You know, what's the difference when Hamer ran to the corner flag and Singer's corner and everybody started clapping him?
Can I just put this up? I've got to put this up. The cat is trying to make sure you comments are perfect. Oh, this show, I tell you, you lot crack me up. Everyone cracks me up on this show. It's brilliant. He's gone now. Sorry, go on, you were doing Steve Price.
Yeah, we have full conversations, me and that cat. Why do you talk to your pets? It's a bizarre thing, isn't it? When you're leaving the house, you start saying, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Like they give a damn. You know, they just think you just put some food in my bowl before you go.
My dogs know. My dogs know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I said before, about me not having any cats to kick every time we lost. I've got 2 now. Anyway, Steve Price, totally agree with Claudio. Robbins is a club legend and we should show appreciation and respect. After John and George, next statues should be Jimmy and Amar. We have got a Jimmy statue, Steve.
Yeah.
It's been there
you don't go that far around the ground, Steve, don't. Yeah. No, he don't, he's never been up that end. It's too high up the ground for him. He'll have a nosebleed.
Maybe he's only been up that end when we played Sunderland and they've had to board it up.
Yeah,
yeah, probably couldn't see
it. Agree, Miles.
Wales.
Yeah, well, agree, Miles. Sing after the game like we did for Fads at Blackburn. And bear with. Mick Kelly, Miles, have you got the enemy singing at the CBS?
Who said
Miles,
that?
Mick Kelly, have you got the enemy singing at the CBS yet?
Don't know.
Well, you never know, do you?
Never know.
Look, I agree with Miles. Lots of agreeing with Miles tonight, Miles. We can't do it before. Just don't open any messages from her on Messenger. I agree with Miles. We can't do it before, as we have. We live and die. So at the end of that, we have time to show our respect and say goodbye for closure. Robbins is very classy as a human being. You know, he's not going to do like a Barry Fry or a Mourinho. You know what I mean? He's not that type of character. We know what he's like. He doesn't like the showy stuff. He hates it. He absolutely hates all that stuff.
Hold on a minute. No, he did. No, last season when Jamie Allen scored against Sunderland.
Oh, fair enough. When he had to go at the ball boy.
No, and the Wolves game and the Wolves, yeah. So no, he can do, because when Jamie Allen scored that winner against Sunderland last season, he was fist pumping the air and everything.
But it's very rare, very rare. It's just
I can see him running down the touchline to the Stoke fans when they take the lead,
or turning around to Doug and doing the fist at him like that,
or doing that.
Like Rainbow, for me, a round of applause, quick song before the game to get it out of the way, then back to normal to kick off. I can't see Mark Robins doing a lap at the end of the game, especially if they have lost. I think you're right, Vicky. I think they should make a fuss of Frank Lampard, to be honest.
I think Vicky's right, definitely.
He's our manager, and the guy's come in and he's classy. If you watch that documentary, that interview is very classy.
Brilliant doc. Oh, CJ, you seen it?
No, I haven't actually. I need to watch it.
Mate, seriously, tonight, get on it. It's brilliant. He is so cool.
We're watching The Apprentice on catch up soon, so we're going to watch that. So I need to watch that David Cross one as well, because I've found that very talented sporting family.
Yeah,
it's very
his daughter's Kate Cross, isn't it?
Yeah, and
she won the World Cup, didn't she, with England?
Yeah, they got
cricket.
They got two
very good podcaster as well,
and an international netball player. And what we're trying to do at the minute with these podcasts, we're trying to get some of the older players, for obvious reasons, basically, to get their memories, so we can get it all archived, and then we got some modern ones as well. But it's just fascinating listening to what it was like, and the fact we talked about Bill Glazier, and Jim Brown said, "What was he like?" And he started going about how well he could drink. We thought he was going to talk about how good a player, goalkeeper he was, not how much he could drink. He could drink all Saturday night, and he carried on Sunday morning.
What I loved about it as well, that he went out drinking. He went out drinking at weekends, not with the players, his teammates. He went out drinking with his mates that he's met in Coventry, and just went down the pub. And he lived in Beecham Avenue. Beechwood Avenue. So up in Finham, that isn't it? So he just went to the pub with his mates that used to work at the Jag or used to work at Masses or wherever. Didn't go out with the players. So it was brilliant, wasn't it? I loved it. I thought it was a great interview.
Frank Wood says, Bomber Bidwell, did the fans do it to Moyes? Do it when he returned to Everton from West Ham? Probably not. Frank Wood says, how much of what Mark Robins achieved was down to AD? Just asking.
They were a team. They were a team, weren't they?
Paul Hughes says,
like Frank Lampard's got a team, Pep's got a team. It's just the way the manager always gets the focus, but they've always got a team, haven't they?
Yeah.
The backroom stuff is really good now. Paul Hughes, surprised no one mentions Gordon Milne, who nearly got us into Europe. If Ipswich had not won the FA Cup and kept us in the top flight for so many years, also Wallace and Ferguson years. When I was about 12, and I used to go and watch the football, obviously with my dad, and Gordon Milne was manager, and he used to always shout at Gordon Milne, he couldn't even motivate his missus. That's what he used to say, my dad. I didn't know what he meant. And we were in the Westgate Arms Hotel in Warwick. Gordon Milne sat at the table with his wife, me being about 12, 13, went over there, asked for his autograph, and I just went, "Oh, my dad says you can't motivate your missus." And I wonder why I got my trial rejected. Anyway. I've got one of those letters from Birdhead saying, "Thank you very much, but you haven't made it." Bomber Bidwell, good or bad in the long run, Mr. Lampard is bringing more attention to CCFC than MR. Win the long run, and that might mean a new bigger owner that will pay for the big goal Premier League. MR was Mr. Sisu.
With regards to that, I think it was when we were waiting for the tram outside Hillsborough. I was looking at our impressions on our tweets, and like I couldn't find a club that had as many impressions on that as many as what we'd had. We had something like within an hour of full time, I think we'd had something like 140,000 impressions on that tweet, saying this is what the score was. Well, the full time tweet. I think Man City's was like 60,000. I think.
And this is, you're saying this is obviously because
It's changed completely. It's completely.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
We got people who support Chelsea from abroad going, we're following Coventry because of Frank Lampard. I mean, the only time I ever saw that was when Ronaldo signed for Juventus and then he left and some guy went, we don't support Juventus anymore. We support, you went back, did you go back to Man United? We support Man United now because of Ronaldo. It's like, how weird.
Strange.
It's weird.
I was at the bridge just before Christmas, and I just looked round and I saw all these banners up with Frank's face on, and they're there permanently. And I'm just thinking, he's our manager.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm like, what? Like, he's our manager.
It is mad.
Like, yeah.
It is mad. We'll talk about the Frank Lampard effect because there's a few things that's happened today that we will talk about fixtures shortly. Just before we carry on, Claudio, Tully, Brian Tully. Hello, Brian. Hope everything is well. He says, where do you get them retro scarves? Well, glad you asked, because you can head over and he'll be on next week, Jim. Jim will be on next week. Take Me Home Highfield Road. Head over to his website. Just put in Take Me Home Highfield Road. His website will come up and you can buy those scarves. There's 3 different types. They're just different colour labels. They're really nice. And we've got one to give away next Thursday when he's on the show. And he's going to tell us all about his adventure about starting this website up. And he's going to be bringing out some more items as well. While we're on about merch, you can buy a mug and coaster now for just $15.95. That's the cost of 2 beers at the game. There you go. So instead of having 2 beers at the game, why don't you sit at home, watch the show and have a mug and coaster? Head over to skybluefanstv@gmail.com to place your order. Thank you. Right, sorry, Claudia, carry on.
And Brian Tully, I'll give him a plug, shall I? He presents on Hills FM, the local chart show. All local bands.
Oh, brilliant.
Good. Yeah, top guy. So, Rounds of Possibility said, did I say a can of key? And no, but this is right. It is Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. That's the character. Gavster Legend says pussy magnets. Dear, oh dear. And oh dear. Right, Mick Kelly, he'll get the sack first. Van Nistelrooy or Frank. It's not going to be Frank, that's for sure.
Van Nistelrooy. Sorry to talk about another game I went to. I was at the Leicester game last week. I was at the West Ham Leicester. Leicester just look like they look like they're down now. They're
what
down
are you doing there? What are you doing there?
A mate had never done the ground before, so I went with him, and I wanted to see him get smashed. So, yeah. And yeah, it was procession. It was very much like the first half against Preston, and without the second half where Preston had a little bit of a go against us. Leicester just didn't do anything.
Wow.
So, yeah, they're in deep trouble. Deep trouble. Van Nistelrooy will be gone soon, I think. What a shame.
We won't invite him back on here anyway, that guy from last year. After he got cheesed off. They did 3 podcasts all about me slagging him off. Dark Parts. Claudia, your cat's name sounds like what I call people where I live in Cannock. When they act all strange, I call them the typical Kaneki. Dawn Cook says, Claudia Cardlino, I nearly sent you the podcast with Frank Lampard, but thought I better not, or you'll think there's some kinky stuff I'm trying to get you to open.
Yes, Dawn, you've got to stop doing that.
That's Bobby Thomas.
Yeah, to be honest, that video of Frank Lampard is the next best thing, I reckon, after watching that today. So, Tom Clark says, I'm a Stoke fan. I can't understand the Cov fans not wanting to clap a Brill manager. I think next year he will turn Stoke into contenders, but sorry, lads, 2-1 Robin's Barmy Army. That sounds weird, doesn't it? Anthony Pettifer says Bill Glazier had a good pipe that he used after the game. That's true. Trevor's calling me Claudio Zuma. Ryan Matthew J. Frank Lampard just comes across so professional, and you can tell he just loves the game. He just wants to be the best at whatever he does. I'm a big fan of him, and I hope we have a big success with him.
Do you know what I reckon? I reckon Ryan Matthews has put in some code there about Frank Lampard being very professional. I think he means us.
I don't know about that.
What are you on about? We're professional.
Mick Davenport, when are the club putting up the new statue of Claudio eating a salmon and cucumber sandwich? Rob Nichols, nice to see CJ wearing a sky blue tie and sky blue buttonhole on his wedding photo. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Ah,
and that's my
Hey, don't you look young there?
I know. Yeah, it feels a long time. No. That's my granddad, my dearly departed granddad's Diamond Club badge.
Oh, that's
I was
nice.
wearing on my lapel. Yeah,
I like that. That's nice. That is nice.
But the entire wedding was basically Coventry City themed. We had
Brilliant.
We had 10 tables. We had the Dion Dublin table, the Kieran Westwood table for the white, and so on. And we had our big flag up, and the wedding invite was like a program.
Oh, brilliant!
It was all
we didn't get one.
I've struck gold.
I tell you a story?
Cloud and Micky were there. So
can I tell you a story about a wedding?
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell
you a story about my wedding. So, CJ, you know when you went for your suit fitting, did you have any issues?
It's the trousers. It's the worst thing in the world for every man just trying on trousers, isn't it?
Well,
that's the only thing.
I had issues because my father-in-law said he was going to wear a claret and blue cravat. He weren't going to wear sky blue. And I told him, well, if you don't wear it, you ain't coming. Right? I said, you ain't coming, that's it. Simple as. And he was adamant he was going to wear a claret and blue cravat. I went, no chance. No chance in a million years. So I went, right, sod it. Let's forget it. And we all walked out and we had to go back and have another fitting after my wife had a word of him. But I had Sky Blue Sam at my wedding. My first dance was with Sky Blue Sam.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, my wife booked Sky Blue Sam. So I had a dance with Sky Blue Sam first. Yeah, first.
We had a nice message. We had a nice video message from Dabo.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What did he say? Sorry, I missed the penalty.
No, it was before that. So.
What did he say?
Thankfully, he just said, "I hope you have a lovely day." And yeah,
that's nice. I like that. That is nice. Let's get some more comments, and we've gone way off script.
It's just Stan Hardy says, "How you doing, CJ? Stan from Philadelphia, US of A."
How do you know him then?
he's a big Cov fan. He's from Cov originally. So.
Oh, brilliant! Excellent.
Did you post the photo of us Coventry fans at Chicago Fire FC?
Oh, don't know.
It was on Facebook. I've sent it in the group, but we'll probably have to do it in the next show.
Oh, we'll do it.
It's top fella, Stan. Really good guy. Nice lad.
We'll do it Sunday, Stan. Honest, we will. We'll get it up for Sunday.
Frank's got a scarf from 63 still. I think, well done, Frank. My oldest is 75. David Cross was a great player for us. He then tarnished his legacy by being part of the West Ham side that broke our hearts in the League Cup semi-final. That's true, he was. Graham Cockrell, the support of Frank, wishing him well at the City from Chelsea podcast has been great. Would Frank go back to Chelsea even if he got us promoted from Mick Kelly? Ooh, don't know. Brian Tully says, "Just kind words about me at Hills FM, Claudia Miles. I've got a live studio guest tomorrow. Local singer Miles might have heard of, called Ruth Kelly. Do you know Ruth Kelly?
I know
Yes.
Keller.
Ruth Kelly. Yeah, very good. Hey,
Very good.
Hills FM. We should get on Hills FM. I wonder if he'll give us a plug on Hills FM tomorrow. That'd be good. Don't forget to like and subscribe, people, because we've got some exciting news coming up very, very soon. Go on, then.
Paul Stratton says, is it true that Sisu are about to buy Cheltenham? They need to be warned as soon as possible.
Right,
Plenty
let's
have
go
warned
to
them.
let's go to that topic then first, before we do the other topic. Seeing as though that came up. Yes, apparently, Joy was found wearing a red scarf last week. I've got a mosquito in here. He's massive. She was wearing a red scarf at the game last week. And they are looking at buying Cheltenham Town, aren't they, Claudio? That's what we've heard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a rumour that's been going around a lot longer. It's only just come out about a couple of months ago. I got wind of this. Yeah, so apparently, yes, didn't know what club. I'd heard they're in the market to get another club. I don't know why Cheltenham. I was trying to think of maybe clubs that are going under, because that's normally what they do. Are Cheltenham in trouble? I don't know. I can't imagine there's a quick return on Cheltenham, is there? So it's a strange one.
Yeah, you can't see it. You can't see them doing what we did. Can you, CJ? Do you think?
No, I mean we were. Look, I don't want to big us up more than what we are, but we're relative sleeping giant, aren't we? Well, we were. The fan base was always there. It's a city of 350 to 400,000, depending on when whether the uni students are here or not. And it's how big's Cheltenham, really? I mean, I bet Cheltenham. Oh, how many people live in Cheltenham? 100,000?
About 10.
I mean, what? It's probably a little bit bigger than Rugby.
Yeah, it's
Or
not.
Nuneaton.
It's not that big, is it? It's
Not massive.
not
no.
massive. No.
No, it's a very, really strange one. And I mean, whilst we're on the subject of that, I noticed that somebody had stumbled upon the club's learning partner yesterday, the Vector. It's
Oh,
got
yes.
there's the club badge, and you probably see know what I'm going to.
Yeah.
And there's there he is. Look, he's looking
Yeah.
very well, isn't he? So it's great to see him. Things were going
Brilliant.
so well, and then we see that, don't we? So.
I know. Brilliant.
On the
Well, we
Charlton
don't-
one, there's a lovely video of him talking about all the players he's brought through at Coventry and Charlton, which is he had a direct hand in them.
Because he's down at Charlton now, isn't he? I believe. Is it Charlton now? Or
No,
not?
he was like what Labovich was here, wasn't he? He's like a non-executive director or something, but he's working in education and
But
a
don't you
good businessman. But
it's sort of strange journalism, isn't it? Where they've announced all this stuff. The weekend we're playing Stoke with Mark Robbins as manager. It feels like people are stirring the pot up, aren't they? Really, that's what's happening here. I mean, this is news that could have come out next week,
yeah.
last week, and they've sort of held it back for this week. It's so contrived. All of it is.
Well, Mini Phoenix Gaming says there's 118,000 live in Cheltenham. There you go.
I think there's something like, isn't there about 70,000 people that live in Burnley? They're the best supported club in the country.
No,
It's like
don't know.
basically a third of the population go to their games.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, if that was us, we'd need the new camp. That's how you got to look at it.
Yeah, that's correct. Someone's put here. It's Brian Tully. It's a great contributor tonight. That's about the similar sizes than Nuneaton. It's on about Burnley. I saw something else. Oh, Bomber Bidwell, sorry. Says that Cheltenham will be playing in Forest Green Rovers ground next year after falling out with the local council.
Probably. Yeah, you can see it happening now, can't you? Something like that happening. Brian Tully says that he will give us a plug on his show on Hills FM. Brilliant. Love it. Right then. So, a couple more topics then. Where are we at? So, here we go then. 2 games rearranged. Wasn't sort of unexpected, to be honest with you. I thought the Burnley one would get moved, but it's 12:30 now, kick-off. And also, Pompey has been moved to 8 p.m. kickoff. I feel sorry for the Portsmouth fans there, because that's going to be, I know it's only 15 minutes difference, but it's going to be a late night back, isn't it, for them by the time that the roads reopen and everything else. That's going to be a late night for them getting back. So let's get your thoughts on this. CJ, Burnley, Pompey now moved. Sky TV couldn't have their Hollywood checker trade. Well, I don't know what they call it now, but the checker trade final. They couldn't have the Hollywood final, so now they're picking up on Coventry City and putting more games on Sky.
I think we've got away with it a little bit this year, haven't we? I mean, I think the 12:30 kickoffs aren't brilliant for families. Well, so a lot of families in Cov, particularly home games, because there's a lot of kids that play football and rugby, isn't there, on a Saturday morning, and it kind of. You know, you imagine like an 11 o'clock kickoff. There's no way they're going to make a 12:30 at the CBS, you know, unless they're plastered with mud. And it's just, you know, even with that, it just ain't going to happen, is it? So it's a shame. But, you know, it says a lot about us, really, doesn't it? And it's kind of a sign of the times, I suppose. But also, like, there's nowhere near the amount that I expected. I mean, you look at last season, I think in between, was it November and the end of the season, we had one 3 p.m. Saturday kickoff, which was Leeds, bizarrely. So I think that was really weird that happened. But yeah, I think it's just to be expected. It's the sign of the times of the Sky Sports Plus and so on. So, and more money.
Yeah, I suppose that's how you can look at it. But the thing is, it's. I mean, look, I'm not going to moan about it. I don't like 12:30 kickoffs. I just don't. I get home and I twiddle my thumbs because I'm like, what do I do now? You know what I mean? I don't really like 12:30 kickoffs. 8 p.m. I'm happy with that, so I don't have to get over in the rush hour. Claudio, your thoughts on these games being moved? I think there'll be a few more as well, won't there?
Yeah, they're announcing week by week now, aren't they? So the ones after the following, yeah, that's how they're going to do it now. 8 o'clock, I prefer 8 o'clock. That extra 15 minutes just to get there. I mean, you can't complain. Everybody wants to get promotion. We want to go to play in the Premier League where all the big money is. Who's given us this big money? It's through Sky, isn't it? You know, so you can't really complain when they start moving football matches. So that's the price you pay. So, you know, and I know it's not for us. It's for the people abroad to watch it and all the rest of it. But that's what it is. It's not brilliant. You're right about the 12:30s can be a bit of a pain. But for me, 8 o'clock's fine. Any evening match, I prefer 8 o'clock, to be honest. Especially at home.
I mean, geez, I'm surprised they never moved the Sunderland game. Well, I'm missing something because they haven't moved that one. I thought that would be one that they would move because of the new rivalry. Well, say new, it's been quite going on a bit, and the rivalry between Sunderland and Coventry. But I mean, Vic, you know, some people aren't happy about this, but if we do get to the promised land, you know, we're going to be playing the likes of Man United. We're going to be playing Spurs, who play on a Thursday night. So our games are going to be moved either to a Sunday or Monday. I mean, you know, if we are going to go up, we've got to try and get used to this, haven't we?
That's it. I mean, it's just the way football is these days, isn't it? Unfortunately, it's not ideal and it doesn't really suit the match going fan. But it's all about the money and like the TV rights these days, isn't it? It's just the way it is. And I think, I mean, we've been fairly used to it in recent seasons. We've had a fair few games, haven't we? We've been being picked quite a lot because of recent success. And I guess the question is, would you rather be sat in the lower leagues, not getting picked because you're doing nothing, or would you rather be pushing for promotion? And Sky want to show you because I think you're exciting, and it's the price of success, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we've got to play the game. So, you know, let's just play it and hopefully pick up 3 points and, you know, get into that playoff spot and, push on for another trip to Wembley, 5th time in 8 years or something, which would be a phenomenal record, especially for a team like us who's in the Championship. As I said earlier on, you're only looking at the likes of Man City and teams like that are getting to Wembley every year, aren't you? So it is fantastic. And apparently there might even be an extra spot in Europe up for grabs in the Premier League next season, which means that more games will be moved if you got to the Premier League because they'll be playing different times in the week. So you never know. Right, let's get a few more announcements up then, coming towards the end of the show. Don't forget, you can join us at the Moxie Hotel Sunday the 20th of April, 7:30. We're going to do a live stream from the hotel. I have phoned them. They said as long as the bar's not too busy, we'll be fine in the bar. If not, there's a little area we can go and sit down and do a live show. Come and join us if you're down there. We're going to go out for a few drinks after. We are down there on the Saturday. Some people have messaged me this week and they've booked hotel rooms there. So there's going to be quite a few Cov fans staying at the hotel. I think there was 14 of us originally, and now there's a few more going. So and that I might not even know about. So come and join us down there. We're going out on the Saturday night and also the Sunday. If you haven't already, head over to the link in the description on YouTube. Give us a like and subscribe, please, to get all the latest info and tell you when our shows are going live. And also, you can click on the link that will give you the link for the tickets for Micky Quinn, Friday the 2nd of May, 7 p.m, £10 for entry. And we've got a quiz and a raffle for you. And it's Micky Quinn's birthday. So we've got a bit of a surprise for Micky Quinn on his birthday. So it's his birthday as well. He's going to be there. And we are hosting it, so it's going to be a fantastic night, obviously, because we're hosting it. It's going to be an amazing night. Over 100 tickets sold so far, so please get your tickets in quickly before you don't want to miss out on this. It's going to be brilliant. And if you haven't already, head over to our YouTube channel. You can watch the interview with David Cross, or you can go over to Spotify if you're at work, and you can listen to the David Cross interview on Sky Blue History podcast with Jim Brown, Coventry City historian, featuring Claudio. There you go. And if you want parking this weekend, head over to coventryparking.co.uk. And if you want coach travel to away games, get in touch with ccfctravel.co.uk. Now, we've got Spot the Ball. Here you go. Your last chance to have a go. Now, do you want to change your mind, guys? Do you want to change your minds, or are you sticking with what you got? Stick. Stick. Claudio?
Yeah, stick.
Sticking. Okay. Have we got everyone's names down? I bet we have. Vicky's well on it. Definitely on it. Right then, here we go. So, the winner is...
There's more late entries coming in.
Oh, too late now. Ball number 5. There you go. Ball number 5.
Brilliant.
He's holding it. So, yes. So, we just scored. They're holding it. Ball number 5. So, if you got ball number 5, how many? I'll let Vicky count them all up and she'll number them, and we'll get CJ to pick a number. Now, I did say we've got an exciting announcement to make. Do I do it? We've got 2 players who are going to be joining us over the next few weeks during March and April. I thought I'd put it out tonight because we need to push this and hopefully get everyone to... The reason I was asking you to subscribe to YouTube is that it will notify you when these shows will be going live. We've got 2 ex-players joining us, and I hope you're going to join us for it. So please give us subscribe on YouTube. It will tell you when they're coming live. The links will be up way before we're even doing the interview, so it will notify you. You can press notify on Spotify, and when it comes live, your phone will ping, your laptop will ping, whatever, your TV, whatever's set up, it will ping on the screen and tell you that these interviews will be going live. So our first special guest joining us will be this man. Do you reckon they'll guess it? They're bound to guess it.
Is it Craig Bellamy?
No. There you go. Coming soon will be this man. Okay. Let's just a quick guess so people out there just can have a quick go for the crack. Who do you think, CJ?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's Morosi, isn't it?
Yay! Marco Morosi. He will be joining us very, very soon. We'll notify you when he will be coming on the show. We will be interviewing him live here on Sky Blue Fans TV. You don't want to go anywhere else to any other channel because Marco Morosi will be on here. He was part of the League One winning team that got us up to the Championship. And he had a great chemistry with him and Ben. They got on really well. And we've heard it all from Ben Wilson about him. So we're going to hear what Marco thinks about Ben Wilson in the next few weeks. So he will be coming on our show. Maybe we'll notify you if you head over to Spotify, give us a subscribe, and it will tell you when the show will be coming live. And the next one, someone's put Eastwood. Is he having a laugh? Right. And the next one is, this is a big one. Are you ready? Oh, who's that then, Vic?
You should have done the lawnmower one.
Oh, yeah, I should have done, didn't I? I've done that one instead. Who is it? Who is it? Is Matty Godden. Yes, Matty Godden will be joining us live here on Sky Blue Fans TV over the next few weeks. So we'll notify you if you get over to YouTube. Give us a subscribe. It will notify you when these shows will be coming live. These guys will be coming on. So we've got Matty Godden coming on over the next few weeks, and we've got Marco Morosi as well joining us. So I hope you're all going to join us for this. And, you know, as I say, give us a subscribe. Got my teeth in. Give me a subscribe, and it will let you know when those are coming live. So how many winners have we got of Spot the Ball?
Got it right tonight.
Sorry, say that again. 4. Okay. CJ, pick a number 1 to 4.
Number 1.
Number one.
That was Realms of Possibility.
Rounds of Possibility. You are the winner of Spot the Ball this evening. Please get in touch with us. You can get in touch on the email coming across the bottom of the screen right now. And if you would like to purchase a mug and a coaster, guys, $15.95, skybluefanstv@gmail.com. Place your order and we'll get it out in the post to you. And congratulations to some of our winners over the last few weeks. There you go, Mick Davenport. And there's Wayne's lad Harley. So there you go. We do give these mugs away, by the way. We're not just saying it, we do. And we hope you've all enjoyed the show. Have you all enjoyed the show, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I don't think I've missed anything.
No,
I'm sure I haven't missed anything. I don't think I've missed anything.
I don't think we've talked about the formation, but we can't be bothered, can we?
No, we did. Someone put up a few, but we can't be bothered. We said one up front to do. That's it. There you go.
Yeah, you can dissect it as much as you want, can't you?
Yeah. Hat trick, Sims.
I was in it for a few weeks. He's due one.
You imagine that? I still can't get over Tatsi's goal last week. He so deserved a goal after the last 9 games. He's been brilliant. So absolutely fantastic. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. And stay tuned because Marco Morosi will be joining us in the next few weeks, and also Matty Godden. You don't want to miss those two. It's going to be a fantastic night. And you can ask questions. So you guys can interact with the players while we're interviewing them, and we will get the comments out there to them and you can ask away. So it's absolutely brilliant. And both players are currently playing, aren't they? Marco's at Cambridge.
Yeah, he's had a hamstring operation, but he's fighting to get fit. And Matt is doing great at Charlton. Of course, with what's his name? Is it Nathan Jones, the manager? Is that right? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get playoffs.
Yeah, they got a last minute winner and he jumped into the crowd, didn't he? That's Nathan Jones, not Matty Godden.
Yeah.
If Matty
I
did
think
that,
he was a nomination for player of the month. Like, like Bobby Thomas for us. Matty Godden's one of the nominations for League One for this month as well.
well, he's. I was saying, if he jumped into the crowd, he'll probably have some bizarre injury. The poor bloke. He always seems to fall foul to some strange injury. But he's going to be great value when he comes on. He's great value, is Matty.
It's going to be. I think this should be my 4th time interviewing him, which would be fantastic. So it's going to be strange doing it on here and not in front of a audience at a pub, but it's going to be a good laugh.
In fairness, there's more people watching this than in the pub.
That's true. Yeah, we are hiding behind the camera, so it is true. But he will be good, and it's his boyhood club as well, isn't it? I think Charlton, if I'm not mistaken. He's from down there, so he's well made up. Okay, well, thank you, CJ. Thanks for joining us, mate. Absolute pleasure once again. Can we get you on for the England games?
Yeah, we're 2 weeks.
Yeah, is that all right? After the England game?
What are England doing now? What are they doing?
We're going to do better than Italy.
I'm actually not in touch with what's going on now.
It's the qualifiers for the to be one of the many teams that are taking part in the World Cup next year, and they've just announced that they're possibly looking at having even more teams in the 2031. So I think it's 64 teams, and it's already over 3 continents and 6 countries. So I can see that lasted 2 months, that tournament. So, plenty to look forward to there.
Mind you, I love watching football, so I'm happy.
Yeah. There's 211. There's 211 nations in FIFA, and I'm really looking forward to the 210 team World Cup and Scotland missing out in the playoffs to Tuvalu or something like that. That'd be good.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. Yeah, so CJ, we'll get you on after the first England game, then we'll get your reaction, and you can tell us all about what's his name again? I forgot his name.
Tuchel.
Thomas Tuchel.
Tuchel. That's the one. Turtle. No, Tuchel. I don't know. Oh man. You see what I mean? What's the point? He's German. Anyway, no, listen, enjoy the first game, mate. Hope it all goes well, and we'll be watching anyway, as we always do. Vicky, you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Good. Claudio?
Yeah.
You've been attacked again. He's gone somewhere. I wouldn't even pick it up. It'd be out the window. No, I'm only joking. Hey, it's like that Lego cat.
It is.
It's like the Lego cat.
It is live on air. The cat.
Someone's just said it looks like Latabodier. No, I'm only joking. But no, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Absolute brilliant night, and we really enjoy your support. And if you see us at the game Saturday, come and say hello, and just tap us on the shoulder and say hello, and we'll go, who are you? But have a great time. Have a great Friday. I'm off now, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing. So have a great time. And thanks, guys, for joining us. Big play up Sky Blues.
Play up Sky Blues.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.